Hey Capricorns, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your October monthly general reading here. Before we get started, a quick announcement. I am now over on Patreon. Yay. I'm doing a lot of extra content over there. Monthly channeled collective messages, bi-monthly animal messages and advice. A lot of good extra content over there. I'd be honored if you joined me. All of that information is in the description box below. Okay, brilliant. So on your meditation, listen here. It was very cool. So I saw the word Capricorn and it was built, like the word itself was made of potato chips. Go with me on this, made of potato chips. And then I saw this beautiful, naturally enormous elephant step forward and I saw it surrounded by peanuts. Okay, and then I saw it blow out of its trunk, and then I saw this set of scales appear, like the scales on the Justice key. And then I saw the Justice key itself from the deck. It's interesting because the Justice key equates to Libra season. I just saw 111 on the timer. Equates to Libra season, which we are in now in October before we transition towards Scorpio season later in the month. I got this very distinct feeling of, I heard lost and found, which is really interesting. And I heard little crafts here and there, little crafts around the house. I feel like there is a rediscovery of either things that you really used to love to do. You might be cleaning out an area of your house or even your parents' house for some of you. It's like you're looking through older things or things that you forgot about, rediscovering them or picking things back up again that you haven't done in a while. I feel like these are things that bring enjoyment to you. I mean, this could be scrapbooking, painting, a book that you forgot about that you feel called to reread. Some of these things may surprise you in their nature as well. You could even be discovering new things and that you have a natural talent around or you just pick up very quickly. And you're like, oh my God, wow, who knew I was so good at, I don't know, knitting sweaters. Now I just can't stop knitting. But it's things like that that may appear on the surface to bring, momentary joy or pass the time or whatever have you. But it feels like there's a larger purpose to it that will reveal itself. Also back to the Justice key and the balance, I also saw this beautiful, strong oak tree growing from and through the elephant, okay? It felt like you are particularly grounded and balanced this month. Particularly grounded and balanced. I feel like there are factors around family. Now, family can be biological family that we choose, but this feels like, it feels a lot like biological family to me, or at least family that you grew up with, okay? If not biological. There's an aspect here of not everyone that we are related to, right, are necessarily part of our chosen family, part of our tribe, as it were. There seems to be a balancing act, and I want to say balancing act. I feel like that's what the chips and peanuts are about too, sort of the, I just saw 333 on the timer. You might be seeing a lot of repeating numbers, but it's a time of balance for you. There's this imagery of the circus as well. I do feel like, and I kept seeing like scene changes, I do feel like there's a greater context or realization or healing coming around certain family dynamics or relationships. You could have a new perspective around a family member or group in your family who you just haven't seen eye to eye with. Maybe you haven't been speaking with, maybe there has been some discord, maybe you don't even have the same political beliefs, or maybe it's just something like that. And you've learned that when you're around them, that the most important thing is the love. And so you've learned just to steer clear of certain topics or certain things, whatever that is for you. It feels balanced. You could even be in a position where you're like, you know what, I'm going to spend less time with this group of the family and more time with my chosen family over here, because I am very interested in what is truly important, because time is precious. Life is short. There's a distinct feeling around that. But it also just feels like, the justice aspect too. It's like justice is blind. It's like there's this overall feeling of certainty about it too. There's no waffling. There's no like, oh, did I make the right choice? Or like, oh, is this the right, move? No, you feel quite sure about it, which is lovely. And this makes complete sense. All right, Capricorn. The sea serpent is about emotional healing. More specifically, it's about the completion of an emotional healing cycle, right? So this is Jormungandr, right? The world serpent from Norse mythology. So Jormungandr, oh, it's a long story, but just thrown into the sea was Loki, and Angrboda's child was thrown into the sea. Was it by Zeus, I think? And Jormungandr as a baby. And over time, Jormungandr stretched his body to completely encircle the entirety of the world, right? So he came and it bites his own tail, right? Snakes are about healing and transformation and metamorphosis, right? And I'm getting this, it's an interesting parallel, because snakes, when they shed their skin, their eyes become cloudy and they can't see very well. That's why when they shed their skin, they're most vulnerable to predators, and they shed in private. They don't shed out in public in the middle of the woods or whatever have you, where whoever can come by and step on them or whatever, because they can't see well. Remember how I said I saw the Justice key and that Justice is blind? It's like you're coming from a more primal place deep inside of you. Feels very sure. That also makes sense with the elephant, because the elephant represents ancestry, ancestral ties, and family, right? It's almost as if, I feel like it's a special note to the black sheep. Any black sheep out there? Black sheep of your family. There's this feeling of feeling quite settled in your given place in the family structure. Maybe for the first time in a while, or in a newfound way. It's very, very nice. But yeah, this is emotional healing. This is a safe space from which you can go through that emotional healing in a way that is productive, right? What can I say? It feels very uniform, but in a really lovely way. That circle on top of that key there denotes spirit. So this does speak of a moment in time and a process for you that is going to be especially important for you in terms of your soul development, soul growth, and manifestation going forward, right? Oh my gosh, I love it already. Three of Wands. This is beautiful. Okay, so Three of Wands. This is so lovely that this is coming up to inform the sea serpent. Remember, the wands are about the actions that we take, right? It's fire energy here, right? So the Three of Wands. Let's talk about the Two of Wands for a second. The Two of Wands is when you are becoming aware, consciously becoming aware, right, of what needs to be done so that you can get where you want to go. And in order to do that, sometimes you have to say, well, I know where I don't want to be. And sometimes starting with what you don't want, who you don't want, or where you don't want to be is a beautiful starting place in order to sort of open the door and further inform you as to what you do want, right? This Three of Wands is an energy of you've come through the Two of Wands of being aware, and now Three of Wands, you are implementing the changes needed, right? I feel like you're making room. I feel like you're making room. I'm seeing some of you physically making room, like clearing things out of the home, clearing things out of your closet or your drawers that you don't need anymore. You're donating. It's kind of like a Marie Kondo, but it feels different in some very marked way because it doesn't feel as uniform as the Marie Kondo method of you start with a room at a time and then you do this and there's all these steps, right? This feels a lot more primal to me. Cutting your hair. Some people, I mean, I'm seeing an image of cutting the hair as well. It's like a, I don't even want to say a release. It's like a hefty edit. A hefty edit. But this is beautifully, beautifully, beautifully positive energy starting you off here. You are moving forward and really looking around you and going, okay, this is going to come, this is not. And as you release things, you invite newness, right? That is a vibrational match to not just where you are, but where you want to be. Yeah, see all these tools here going to work, making it work? I love how this is depicted here. Okay. What's this going on? Capricorn. You have got to be joking. So the next one is Six of Wands after the Three of Wands, and on the bottom is the Eight of Wands. Well, this is another level. Okay, I'm real excited about this. So look at how gorgeous. So this is the medieval tarot, by the way. So Six of Wands, this is victory and public recognition. This is moving. I love that this is lining up in this way. It's like you release, you make plans, you discern, you allow yourself to be moved from a primal place of this is what needs to happen for me in my life right now, right? Again, I keep seeing a blindfold over your eyes, but it's not a bad thing. It's like in the Karate Kid when he gets the dirt. Well, actually, it's a really commonly used movie trope, but it's like the dirt gets kicked in his eyes, and because he trained with a blindfold, he doesn't need his eyes to know where the next hit is coming from. Ooh, I really like it. But yeah, this is public recognition, victory, marching forward in a way where you are being duly recognized for all that you are, and also your creative work as well and your artistry, because wands is they are about the actions we take, but they also are the suit of the creator. So I like that very much. I'm hearing the song, I'm going to sit right down and write myself a letter. Okay, I'm seeing an image of you writing a letter to your future self and your past self. I feel like it's, a metaphor, but I think you're sending them both off, and it gives you this sense of you are firmly grounded in either direction of time and space. So I feel like there's a healing happening around the past, right? And there's a certain grounded intention and clear focus on the future. And it's allowing you, in effect, to enjoy and feel very good about where you are because you feel healed about where you've been and clear about where you're going. Okay. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, I want to point something out. So this is really cheeky. So this is the Page of Swords. So this is air energy here, which was all thoughts, communication, writing, right? What's really fascinating about this on the back of what I just said, so the Page of Swords, it's technically a child, a younger energy, a novice energy, right? Because it goes from the Page, which is young, to the Knight, which is more middle age, and then to the King, which is more, on the feminine side as well. The Queen, but it's those stages of those life stages, right? Do you see how the Page is depicted here as an older lady? What did I just say about writing a letter to your past self, like the younger you, and writing a letter to your future self, the older you? It's so cheeky how this is coming up in this way, and I quite like it a lot. It's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Do you see that little fox head? There's so much to work with on these cards. I love them. See this little fox head here? I'm trying to talk about fox energy very briefly. Fox energy, for me, is largely about keeping certain things, albeit creative projects as well, or intentions or plans, to yourself, so that they can fully manifest and build momentum before you expose it to the energy of others. So I do feel like there's this energy here of you sitting on something that you're excited about, or realizing something and keeping it to yourself as well. Because the more that you reveal it to, if you reveal your thoughts, ideas, plans too soon, and you expose it to the air or to other people's opinions too soon, it can morph and change. And I'm seeing this image of a growing little baby plant being exposed to the elements, the harsh elements, before it has the chance to really grow roots and strengthen, and it doesn't really survive. I feel like that's good and apt advice for you. But I love that I saw you writing a letter, and then you get the Page of Swords, which is about, writing letters as well, because it's about communication and really speaking or realizing something that is true, right? I feel like some of you are commenting or writing, what is that word I'm looking for? A commentary on either the state of affairs, what's going on around you, or how you see the world. I'm seeing Dear Abby, something about that. Yeah, that could even be, you could be the Dear Abby of your group, the Dear Abby within your relationship too, right? Oh, this is so cool. This is the Urban Tarot. I love this so much. Okay. Look how this is depicted. It says the Gourmet Chef. So this is the Knight of Pentacles, right? Look at how beautiful that is with that dinner. So the Knight of Pentacles traditionally, so this is showing up with your natural suit here of Earth, of Pentacles, right? It's a Capricorn. So this is really beautiful because traditionally this denotes a certain taking your time. And I love how this is depicted because, you know, the Knight of Pentacles is actually my favorite knight out of all the knights. Why? Because he may take his time getting to where he's going, but when he arrives, he's so sure about it that he stays, right? The Knight of Pentacles does not change his mind because he takes his time making a decision and setting his clear course. So I love that this is coming up to clarify the Three of Wands. You know, I'm also getting a very distinct draw to your artistry, to your particular talents and gifts and why you're here, what you particularly are good at. Remember how I said you might be rediscovering talents or picking up something and being good at it right away or whatever have you? And then we have the gourmet chef. I mean, chefs are artists, hands down. It's like the difference between a chef and a cook, right? Chefs are artists. And so I love that it's depicted in this way. It's taking the time to hone your craft, really committing to it, right? So that you can move forward and share it with the world. For those of you who may not be artists or in artistic lines of work, I do believe this is speaking to specifically for you, that you're moving off in a direction that serves your unique point of view, perspective, and where you want to be. Like it's tailored to you. Like this meal that the chef has made, the chef's menu, as it were, is just for you. So it feels very specific to you, right? Handmade, curated, that's the word. Curated. I'm also really drawn to his knife here. Remember how we talked about removing or making changes around your chosen family, your familial group, or making peace with your place in it or the differences? Yeah. The Mage. So this is the Magician. I love that it's coming up to clarify the Six of Wands for you because this is about victory, public recognition, marching forward successfully, right? The Mage, this is the Magician. Look at him alone in his, what is this? His study, I guess, with his keyboard and everything. This is really beautiful. That infinity symbol there, right, is eternity, right? It's that ever-bending, ever-flowing loop of life force, right? To me, the infinity symbols is very much equates to the truth that there's no such thing as death, that we don't actually die because it's all energy. So it's really just a transformation of sorts, death is, right? I love that he's in front of the piano, though, and we've been talking about artistry and what you particularly are good at as well. I do feel like some of you also, along with being, you know, manifesting your own reality and own good fortune and taking, you know, that in hand, these are two very masculine energies, you know, which is about taking action. But I feel like there's this other aspect of enjoying how you're spending time. And some of you guys, this is going to equate to, let's just go with this dude for an example. You rediscover the keyboard in the garage and you sit down and you start remembering that, oh, this song and this song, you start playing around with it. And it's not necessarily that you're going to go forward and be a master piano player at, you know, 37 or whatever, just throwing that out there, 37 or whatever have you. But it's really more about, you are spending good time within the vortex, which is freeing up your energy and working on your energy in a way where it's raising your vibration. And so it opens some neural pathways within your brain to allow you to get fresh new ideas, to help you to see things more clearly, to help you move past some blocks that you have because you're spending time within that vortex, right? It's like you sit down to the keyboard with a problem that you haven't been able to get past, or a family relationship that's really been bothering you, or do I make this move, or what do I say to my boss who wants this from me at work, but I don't know if I can do it. Then you sit down to play, or you sit down to knit, or you sit down to color, or you sit down to paint, or you go garden, or whatever have you, or you write, or whatever, you journal, whatever. And then suddenly, because you took your mind off of that and spent it creatively, suddenly it comes to you. That's the energy that I'm picking up on here, okay? Right, Page of Swords. 5 and 6, okay. Interesting. Okay. So we have the Five of Swords with the Page of Swords. So this says defeat on it. And this is kind of great in the context. Because if you look at it, this is a slot machine, a very interesting looking sort of slot machine. But you see these, the spades and the swords here and the cards. You know, cards represent chance and luck, right? I'm going to tell you what I'm getting from this. With the Page of Swords, I feel like there's a certain energy of, you know, when you like hedge your bets or you take a, you know, it's like a happenstance, happy accident, or you just, it's, why am I seeing, who was that? Was it Cameron Diaz or Charlize Theron? Maybe it was Charlize Theron, I'm not sure. One of the blondes who was discovered in LA at like a bank, like a model scout saw them at a bank making a deposit or something. And suddenly they became a famous model and then went on to be an actor. And there's a lot of stories like that out there, especially around Los Angeles and New York. It's like, am I going to be discovered? It's like that energy of like, is today my lucky day? Is this my chance? Is this my time? Is this my moment? Getting in a very distinct energy around that. And I feel like this is in the reverse, because I feel like some of you guys, there's this energy of like you've worked diligently, or you move through your life diligently, and there's this unspoken or subconscious feeling of either waiting for your turn, waiting for the right time, or kind of waiting for your, I just heard Waiting for My Rocket to Come by Jason Mraz. But there is this cheeky note here around, okay, this is a good way to put it. So, for example, in the acting industry, there's this, you know, saying of, if you really want to find a role that actually suits you, write it yourself. That's what I'm getting from this. It's like you are the master of your own fate and destiny. That's what I'm getting with this. Because it's almost this antithesis of like, no, it's not the luck of the draw. No, it's not being in the right place at the right time. It's me putting pen to paper. It's about me getting active about my thought process, about what I can do, back to the mage, right? To actually manifest for myself what I want. It's a very active energy as opposed to a passive energy of waiting your turn, or waiting for the right time, or waiting for a source of inspiration, or waiting for the next great idea, or waiting for, you know, I don't know, a manager to call you back or respond to an email, or whatever this is for you, or waiting for your boss to tell you what to do next. You're taking it upon yourself to make the next move. Whatever this is for you, it's this beautiful energy of this emotional freedom, emotional healing, and rearrangement that comes where you're moving from this primal place. Remember with the elephant, the justice. You're moving from this primal place that allows for this beautiful sense of surety and confidence, right? And it's really manifesting across several different platforms in your life. But it's beautiful. It feels very virile, honestly, or virile. Let's get an oracle. I am feeling like the vintage. Yes, I am. Feeling like the vintage. Let's see. I need to shuffle. Yes, I do. You know, also the sea serpent can also equate to, you know, a sort of Queen of Wands energy as well. Queen of Wands is largely about creativity and confidence. Having the confidence to share your creations with the world. Having the confidence to, you know, finance yourself and be your own financier, right? And really putting that faith and time and stock into your own artistry and work and vision, right? I just heard like, I'm financing myself, right? Self-published, self-made. I make my own luck. Okay, really? Celebration! So this is really aligning really beautifully. I want to point out the butterfly, which also represent metamorphosis, just like the snake does, right? They have to go inside their chrysalis and turn to goo, which is very unpleasant, I can imagine, before they come out fully formed and are able to fly. I also want to point something out. They spend most of their life as, you know, caterpillars. Right? The butterfly aspect, the butterfly form of them is shorter than the time that they spend if you add together the time as an egg, a caterpillar, and in the chrysalis, that all takes up more time than they experience in their beautiful form of the butterfly soaring above. So remember that there's going to be a lot of progress that's made that may take a while to manifest and see, but I feel like you're at the point of actually seeing this made manifest, possibly the result of a lot of emotional healing that's been going on for a while, and or creative work and or effort on your part, thinking, dreaming, planning ahead, right? Envisioning the life that you desire. It's about to come to a place of physical manifestation. Cause for celebration. This is beautiful. Capricorn, this is your October monthly general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I love and live for reading your comments. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.